everything was going wrong.
Yeah.
Like everything was going wrong. Like they was in the booth and like
we going crazy. Run them up. Chat.
The day. And it's funny because Megan was dancing. She was like, it was really funny. But and then they was it was really funny. And they did it again. Welcome, y'all. This is Josh
and Josh.
Okay, Alex and
Lane.
Period. Back at it again with another one. Here today, we're here to talk about Scary Movie 6. We're doing a spoil review. So if you don't want no spoilers, go to JoshandJosh.bandcamp.com. Listen to our music, JoshandJosh.bandcamp.com. And ain't no spoilers over there. But over here on this video, we finna spoil it. Okay?
Full spoilers of that. Like,
full spoilers.
We're about to tell you literally everything that went on in this film. So if you don't want to know what happened, stop right now.
And go to JoshandJosh.bandcamp.com. But okay, we're gonna go through the scenes that we liked or was worth talking about, and we're gonna react to it. Okay?
We got kind of first to save the overall film.
Oh yes, overall impressions.
Because to be honest, Scary Movie 6 was probably, in my opinion, way better than 3, 4, and 5. It felt a lot like the first two. If you've seen Scary Movie 1, Scary Movie 2, the 6th one definitely felt a lot like that, which I enjoyed like a lot. Because, I mean, they're all funny, but, 3 and 4 kind of, I wouldn't say fell off, but everybody knows they weren't as popular as, the first two. And then I guess the 5th made a comeback because they all... I don't can't remember the 5th one, but yeah, crazy that it resembled a lot of the first and the second ones for sure.
Yeah, I thought it was very good. I don't remember the 5th one, the 3rd one. It was okay. The 4th one, but 1 and 2 was definitely classic. So glad that they brought back the Wayans brothers because they literally make the film
for sure.
For sure. But do you want to say anything else?
No, not. I think just the overall of it being kind of back to the roots of the first two is why I think it's also doing fairly well in theaters right now as we make this video. That people are going to see it because it's reminiscing a lot of the first two films. So that's good for them. But we definitely keep it going and get on to our reactions to, like you said, some of the scenes throughout the film. But like we said, it's a spoil review, so just be cautionary with that. But
yes. So
we get into it.
The way the movie opens up, the film starts in a bar in Manhattan where Tiana Taylor is waiting for someone. She gets a phone call from a producer and is lured out of the bar. Now this whole conversation, before I keep going, was absolutely hilarious. You didn't really expect Tiana Taylor to be talking like this, and she was like, "Who is this talking to?" It was funny. Movie is worth watching just off this opening scene. Okay, and then the next thing it says Ghostface, she gets lured out the bar. Ghostface tries to corner her, Tiana, in the alley, but she summons other New York dudes, and they come out and beat up her would-be killer. Ghostface then taunts Tiana for not winning the Oscar, so she hits her with her Golden Globe. And then that's when it says, what was the name of it? It was like...
It's called Horror Movie.
It's called Horror Movie. So it was like...
Rip-off of said, horror films, but it shows like it's a trailer that one of the characters are watching, and it's funny because I literally thought it was going to be, how every opener of a scary movie is, a kill scene from said scary movie, and it was funny because Tiana Taylor, she really was a bad bitch. She was like, you ain't gonna mess with me, and the whole woo, they all pulling up, like that was so funny. And like he said, she struck the killer with her Golden Globe, or no, whatever she
her Golden Globe.
Like, I'm Tiana Taylor. It was so funny.
And then he tried to stab her in the abs.
Oh yeah, and then
the metal built the knife bent, and she was like, "Don't you know I'm Tiana Taylor? My abs got abs."
Yeah.
So that was really funny.
Super funny.
Okay, so then the next scene, it says, this turns out to be the opening to a parody film Horror Movie, which is being watched by teenager Tuesday, who says parody films are stupid and that she prefers elevated comedy, which is Scream 5. She then hears someone knocks at the door and the real Ghostface attacks Tuesday. And that's how the movie starts off for real. So yeah, it gets you in. Okay, then the movie quickly moves on to another scene, and it says Brenda Meeks, we all love Brenda, has done her hair to look like Ma, and now has two teenage children.
Yeah, Ma, as in Octavia Spencer's film Ma, where she's like crazy, but besides the point, she literally just looks just like her. But
yeah, she looks just like her. So if you didn't watch that Octavia Spencer film, you just think she has a funny haircut. But she has two children. Day, which is spelled out D-E-I, who's played by Sidney Park, and Brad, who's played by Greg Wayans. So I didn't realize that was one of the Wayans.
One of the Wayans too, yeah. Their whole family's up in this.
They up in the film, and they so good.
But it was funny.
Brad played his part.
But what's funny about her kids is like Day, which is spelled D-E-I. She's the woke character, yes. And it was really funny. And then Brad's dating this girl who's low-key a hoe, but he don't want to admit it.
They say she's sex positive. That's what that's what the kids call it.
So funny.
Yes, and then it says, meanwhile, Greg, from the old Greg, he brings his trans son Jess to school, which is really funny, because whenever the son, he drops his son off, his trans son off, he was like, the trans son is like, leave me alone, Dad. Let me go to school. And then they start hitting each other, and then the trans son like knocks the dad out, and then the dad he's like, that's my son. It was really funny. And then later the teens are approached by Shorty, who's Marlon Wayans, who is uncle to Day and Brad. So Shorty's still at school. He was like a
25th year senior.
25th year senior. And he said he wasn't leaving the school until he gets the spinoff
in college.
At college. Yeah, with the kids. Okay, and then next they have a Sinners scene.
Basically the opening scene of Sinners, where he drives the car to the church house and does the whole opening, and this is Ray, who is, as you know, if you know Ray the character, he was a gay man, but didn't want to admit it. He was also the killer in the first film, but they keep bringing him back as different characters. But it was just funny because like the whole idea of Sinners, was him kind of forgetting about the church, wanting to go play, the guitar and be his own self, his own human. But in Scary Movie, it's him denouncing that he's no longer gay, which was kind of crazy because the preacher in the back was not a preacher at all. He kept saying, fuck that. Shit like that. And it was
highly disrespectful.
Very disrespectful, but it was just a funny scene, a really funny scene introduced.
Yeah, because he was saying that he's not that no more, but while describing everything that he still do, and he was twerking and everything. So it was honestly kind of like, to me, this was the first surprise scene in the movie. This is when the movie is like building, and then it like went to the left, and then after this scene, it went right back to the movie. So it was kind of like its own thing. So after this part is really funny. Sarah and Jack, which is her boyfriend, who we did skip this part in the beginning, but Jack is a killer or something.
Yeah, well, people they think he's a killer because in every scary movie, the boyfriend's always the first suspect as a killer. But you don't know yet exactly if he's a killer, but they make a lot of jokes when you first meet him, like, it's probably going to be you. You'd be the killer out of everybody. You the first suspect. But
so he like made several attempts to kill Sarah already, but Sarah just misses. She thinks she's just getting hit on.
Yeah.
So Sarah and Jack go together to go see Tuesday at the hospital. And by the way, Sarah did an amazing job playing this character. The way she talks with this Californian accent, and it's absolutely
just
hilarious.
Like Cindy from the first film.
Absolutely hilarious.
Very annoying, but you can
spot on.
Spot on impersonation almost of said character, and it was just really well done.
really well done. Okay, so when they go to the hospital, Tuesday's being treated by Nurse Ratchet, which is Kim Wayans. After Tuesday is in a great deal of pain through the shenanigans, Sarah again gets a call from Ghostface. The killer chases her and tries to attack her, but Nurse Ratchet knocks him out the way with a lunch tray.
That whole scene was great.
This like summed it up, but it was much more than this.
Like, she was so nonchalant about doing her job until Tuesday almost died, and she was like, "Oh shit, she can't die on my, not enough somebody else died."
Yeah, she was like, "I'm a DEI hire. You can't die on my watch. Like, I barely got this job." So that's funny, but all it was is her thing was just unplugged. So Sarah plugged it back in, and she was like, "Ooh."
She was good. And another thing that comes back later in the film, she hits Ghostface with the pan, and we'll probably get into it later, but the boyfriend has like a really big knot on his head from said pan. But
in terms of where you
really funny. Where'd you get that from? He's like, "Oh, I fell." And you're like, "What the fuck?"
And Sarah just delusional. So then next, Sarah and Jack go to pay a visit to Doofy Gilmore, a foreign sheriff and original Ghostface, who is now a paranoid, shut in, afraid of COVID.
Yeah. Which, I get it. I also don't really get why they brought in Doofy, because like they said, he was the killer in the first Scary Movie, but even like he was faking being, on the spectrum and, not all the way there. Like Doofy, Officer Doofy, and it's like, but now in Scary Movie 6, he actually is, special needs, still Doofy. So that kind of confused me a little bit, but you gotta kind of like remember it's the same character but in a different movie, so.
Yeah.
I was like, kind of didn't make sense because he was the killer on the first one and then got away, so why would they bring him back? But that's besides the point. But the next scene was, I believe it was...
So after that, the other scenes, they basically all meet up, and then Sarah gets mad at Cindy, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That wasn't important. So the next funny scene is... that branches off to the left is they do a get out scene.
Yeah.
So
Shorty.
It first starts outside. Shorty goes outside and he's smoking a blunt on the outside of the house. Then he sees this man, muscular black man, running fast in just his speedos, and then Ray is running after him, and it's like, "Come back here." Whatever crazy stuff Ray was saying. So then Shorty goes inside and he finds Ghostface sitting down on the couch with tea and a spoon, and this is the same exact scene from Get Out. It was really good because this was one of the most captivating scenes in Get Out that made, honestly, the movie special.
Yeah.
With this very scene, so they redid it. So he sits down, he talks with Ghostface, and Ghostface, does the thing where he hypnotizes him with the tea, and he forced Shorty to relive a gross moment about how he found out his mom was a squirter and killed a man with her fluids in a car. Like she squirted so hard the car flooded out, and then the man she opened the door to get out, and the man just came out like
he basically drowned.
Yeah.
From all the...
And then when he goes down into the sucking place, he ends up in K-pop Demon Hunter style music video about getting high with these Korean girls. It was like kind of like way far left. This with the Korean thing, it was like all the way over here because this ain't got nothing to do with being scary. It was just like popular, I guess. But then he did speak Korean, so I'd appreciate that.
It was it's funny though because there was the song Golden, from K-pop Demon Hunters, and it was a parody of that song about him getting high. So it was funny, but like he said, way left. It was maybe even right. Relief, definitely comedic relief. Kind of just a break of the stupidness, but it was still stupid. But,
yeah, very stupid. Okay, then the next part is Cindy is at the hospital where she hallucinates seeing her old boyfriend Bobby. Actually, she smacks him in the head. That's not that funny. Yeah. Okay, now this part is funny, y'all. This part is funny. Tuesday watches an ad for a film about Jermaine Jackson, which is played by Kenan Thompson. He did a great job. Before Jack shows up with gloves to definitely not kill Tuesday. Now, before I keep going, this scene was so funny because they redid the Michael commercial, but with Jermaine.
It was like titled Jermaine,
and like everything was going wrong.
Yeah,
everything was going wrong. They was in the booth and like it was really funny and everything was going wrong. And then it ended up how they spelled Michael, but it said Jermaine. That shit was so funny.
But I also thought it was so cool because the Michael movie just came out like a few months ago. So the fact that they put that in the film
so fast
was actually so funny because that was the last film we saw before Scary Movie 6 was Michael.
Yeah,
and he actually saw
Michael was great.
And it was so funny. And Kenan Thompson, he had the Jerry curl look.
It was great.
So funny.
It was so funny. He had like the Michael Jackson, like the French Revolution, but it was Jermaine. That's funny.
So funny. Another great scene.
Okay, so after she turns it off, she Ghostface shows up and attacks her again, but Jack and Tuesday get high off of nitrous. Ghostface and Sarah get high off of nitrous. That's how Sarah tries to stop him. Tuesday rolls out the room but get caught. Sarah and Doofy shows up. Sarah gets Tuesday out, but Doofy gets killed by Ghostface and then poops his pants, and it was really nasty. And then Nurse Ratchet, she said, "Who gonna clean that up? Cause it ain't gonna be me." And then did she make Ghostface kill her?
I can't remember. No, I don't think so. I think it cut to the next scene.
But yeah, she was very upset about that. Okay, then Shorty goes on a live stream. Since that's his main source of income, he brings on a special guest, popular streamer Kai Cenat, before getting joined by Ghostface. And then, yeah, they go, it was really funny. The group engages in silliness, including the classic "What's up" gag, "What's up?" until Ghostface decapitates Kai.
I know. He was literally he was like, "I thought you were going to let me be in the new scary movie." And they're like, "Yeah, man, that's what we doing." And as soon as they cut the head off, they said, "We going crazy. Run them up. Chat." That was so funny.
Because it says Shorty he celebrates because they broke a streaming record.
Yeah.
Because think about if Kai Cenat did die on stream, that probably would break a record. So it was kind of funny because in the streaming world, crazy stuff happens, but it just moves on. Yeah. So it was just really funny.
They kind of just disregard him dying.
Disregard him dying. He's right there dead on the floor. We broke a record. It was really funny. Okay.
And that pretty much sets up towards the ending of the film, right?
Yeah. So it all is going downhill at this point.
Very fast.
So this point we're just going to talk about. There's a few jokes they made that honestly could be funny to somebody, but weren't really funny to me. Now,
and me either. Yeah.
Two agents. One of them was Damon's son, Damon Wayans Jr. But they joined this police officer, and they're shorthand the little man, and he's standing next to this black man, and then the police was like, "We have a subject. He's really pale, and it's obviously shorthand."
A white dude, yeah.
And they go beat up the black man, and they go beat him down. They beat
the crap out of him too. And what pissed me off, they were like, "Oh, let's arrest him anyway. He's probably got warrants or something." And then shorthand got away, so that was really dumb. And then this next part. Oh, well, this next part's pretty funny. Gail goes to the procedure to go look younger. She gets injected with the stuff, which is this big old metal pole, or what was it, a needle? They basically injected this stuff in her to get her surgery or whatever. Yeah, she was basically getting lip filler.
Yeah,
to look younger, but in her
body.
They're poking at Courtney Cox, who got some work done, who was in the original Scream, and that was Gail Weathers, who was her character, but obviously it's the parody. So, but like you said, she goes to get injections, but they inject way too much everywhere, and she starts to freak out and basically is gonna die. And something I guess they say her true self or younger self grows out of her back, and it's
and a hand pops out and it says Epstein files,
unredacted, which is so funny.
And then it says but one soul must be traded to read or something. And then what pops up was and Gail emerges as her younger self, and it turns out to be one of the white chicks, which was Marlon Wayne playing Tiffany.
In White Chicks, which was funny, because you were expecting her to look younger, and then you see the White Chicks character, and they're like, "Oops, wrong movie." And that was funny. That was one of the best parts of the film, for sure, because everybody in the theater started laughing. They were like, "Oh shit, White Chicks."
Yes, it was really funny. Okay, and then
Continue.
Okay, the next bad part that happened was that Day, which is short for DEI, literally, is on the train, and other people are dressed like famous film slashers.
Yeah.
Chucky, Leatherface, Pinhead, even the
Jason
Heart Eyes
Voorhees.
Killer. Yeah, everybody.
Everybody's in the
Someone dressed up like Megan approaches Day, and it's funny because Megan was dancing. She was like, it was really funny, but then she approaches Day and then stabs them in the stomach because Day, though is a woman, her pronouns is them, so you don't want to call Day her because Day don't go by her, even though Day is a woman. They go by them. So the point of this was that these people on the thing was just it was that's too much. They didn't want to think all that. It was so then Someone dressed like I said she stabbed her. A Karen, literally named Karen, calls out the attack, and then when Day corrects her use of her pronouns, everyone on the train starts stabbing DEI. So in the movie, I saw it. I didn't realize that DEI, Day, would stand for DEI. So I thought they was just trying to get at a joke like everybody stabs the black woman. Because it was like nobody died that harsh, but DEI. DEI died. Everybody stabbed DEI, but I mean Day. But I think that they was trying to like stab DEI. I don't know.
Or making a joke at people would rather just get rid of diversity, equity, inclusion because they don't want to put forth the effort of calling people what they deserve.
Oh yeah, calling people what they deserve to be called. So they rather
too much. I work too hard.
They rather just kill you. Yeah,
it's terrible. That was probably one of the worst jokes.
But they wanted you to think, but it was really, really messed up. Okay, so next, they go back home and they're at a party.
Oh yeah, it's the party from the original house from the first film. Basically the Scream house, Stu's house, but obviously the Scary Movie version. And that's basically where the film ends, all in this house. Like we were talking about earlier, it goes downhill really fast and kind of just ends out of nowhere. But you get it, you had to like wrap it up. But it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, because honestly, the rest of this, we'll just let y'all see this in the movie because it ain't even worth saying. Yeah, it just wraps it up. So we're just going to reach all the end because this was funny. Okay, so Jack and Val revealed that they wanted to take over the Scary Movie franchise from the other legacy characters, so they bring Brenda in. However, two most gross phages emerge. One stabs Jack to death, another shoots Val in the head, and they were revealed to be Anthony Anderson and Shaquille O'Neal, which was shocking. We weren't expecting that, since they were both in two of the other Scary Movie films.
Yeah, they were in 3 and 4.
Though Anthony was expecting Kevin Hart to join them, two more Ghostface come out, and it's Shorty and Rape. They kill Anthony and Shaq before criticizing Sydney and Brenda for being in Scary Movie 3 and 4 without them, and they said the answer was money. That's why they did it.
Yeah, that's why they're killing everybody.
So the four friends reconcile while Sarah and Tuesday make comments about joining them as part of the new franchise group. This part is funny too.
Well, who are their kids?
Which
is crazy.
So then the main four, which is the four adults, responded by tying up Sarah and Tuesday and leaving them in the house to burn, declaring that nobody will take over the franchise for them, not even their kids. Cindy, Brenda, Shorty, and Ray all do a badass walk away from the house, unaware that the fire burned the back of their clothes, exposing their butts. Yeah, everybody's butt was out. And there was an ending credit we did not see because we left. Because I thought black people didn't do ending credits. I'm just kidding, but it was very great movie. So before we give our rating, you want to give any final comments?
Like kind of what I just said in the beginning. Like this one reminded me a lot of the first two films, which obviously are funny, but without the Wayans Bros, they're kind of like different films. Like it's still funny and comedic, but having all of them together, it was just funny. Like I definitely rank it above 3, 4, and 5. Like it's definitely not better than the first two, but along the lines of the first two. That's why I think it's actually doing pretty well. Because, like we said earlier, they're just so funny. They pull in so many different scary stuff and make it funny. And the fact that there's so much to pull from. So they could really make this film about whatever, and it's kind of about a whole lot. But it works, and it was funny. You should definitely see it if you haven't. We'll definitely watch it again when it comes out to streaming or on, digital platforms and stuff like that later. But that's pretty much all I'd have to say. But it's definitely worth it. Like, definitely worth seeing.
Yeah, I agree with him. So let's give our ratings. We're both going to give our individual rating and then we'll average it out. So I'm going to give it 2 Joshes. Because we're both Josh and Josh, so if we give it 2 Joshes, that means we both liked it. Or not both liked it, but basically it's 100%.
Yeah.
Like 2 thumbs up, but instead of 2 thumbs up, 2 Joshes. And what do you give it?
I'd also give it 2. I feel like if there were more jokes, like they had about the DEI, and they also made a joke about ICE.
Oh, yeah, we skipped over that.
Some of that was very untasteful, and if it had more of that, I'd probably rank it lower, but it didn't have that much, so that's why I would give it 2 as well. Because if it was anything like the 3rd or 4th, it would definitely be worth 1 Josh, but I'd give it 2 as well, for sure.
So Scary Movie 6 gets 2 Joshes, 2 heads. So overall, we do suggest to go watch it, support the Wayans, and they did it again. So yeah. I guess last thing last, go to JoshandJosh.bandcamp.com. Okay, support our career so we can live. We're gonna keep doing these spoiler reviews. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. Comment down below if you made it to the end. Type down DEI so we know you watched it.
Also, go follow our Instagram, JoshandJoshMusic, because if you follow our Instagram, the JoshandJosh.bandcamp.com link is in our Instagram bio. So if you don't want to type all that out, just go follow our Instagram, and the link is in our bio and description.
Okay, but until next time, ciao.
Open to it.